Oga Solar mentioned that there's return on investment, in installing solar energy. And I'm asking myself, is it for personal use or for commercial use that you get a return on investment? So if it's for personal use, I'm asking myself, when will I get a return on investment? Like in the next 10 years or 8 years, And it's like telling me that I should buy this TV, that when I buy this TV for my personal use, I will get return on investment on it. Isn't it? The purpose of the video I made earlier was not to downplay the role of solar energy. In fact, every one of us were grateful for that technology, because without it, I wonder what would have happened to so many of us. I wonder what would have happened to so many businesses. I wonder what would have happened to people that are in the hospital. But then, the purpose of that video is not to downplay solar energy. And that is one thing that you should understand. So rather, I'm stating the obvious, how our leaders have failed us, how they are supposed to provide us with basic amenities, and then they have refused to do that. You talked about gas plants, that we have so many. Yes, we have so many gas plants in Nigeria. The question you ask yourself is, how many of them is in operation? How many of them are working? And if they are working, show us the proof. What is the proof? Many of us don't have electricity. Many of us, so many businesses are shutting down. And here to say we have so many gas plants. Now, let me show you something. Now, read what is there, sir. You see, despite even having all these gas plants, what happened? We don't even have the gas. Rather, our government prefer to sell the gas outside the country. They prefer to sell it to get money, to get profit, rather than for it to serve we ourselves. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about downplaying solar energy. You mentioned that nuclear plant is a generational disaster. I see a generational disaster, and then you're not comparing a nuclear plant to nuclear weapon. How does those two, how are they together? Probably need to understand how these two works together. And you also mentioned Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Hiroshima and Nagasaki did not experience what they experienced or what they had experienced because of nuclear plant. What happened was a nuclear bomb that was thrown by the US in 1945. So get that fact correct. It's not because of a nuclear plant. It was because of United States of America bombed Japan, and where they dropped the bomb was Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and that led to a lot of radioactive elements exposed in that environment. And children that were born after that time, they experienced one deformity or the other. Countries like United States of America, UK, France, Spain, South Korea, North Korea, Russia, Canada, even Kazakhstan, the small country Kazakhstan, and even here in Africa, South Africa here, under the company of Eskom, they also use nuclear energy to generate some part of their electricity. So how is it a generational disaster, as you call it, if they can use it and it's still functional, they are still making use of it? How is it a generational disaster? Even China, the almighty China, that has billion of population, it is not a generational disaster for them. They make use of it, and they are still living till now. A research was done recently, and we found out that if you are using solar energy, you only get 23% in a year. That is to say, for 365 days, you only have your solar panel only produce energy for 89 days. Compared to that of a nuclear plant, which is 93% efficiency, which means out of 365 days, the nuclear plant continuously produce energy for 341 days, more of like 23 hours a day, 23 hours in 24 hours, it produces power. So you can see the difference there now. So your solar panel doesn't work at night compared to that of nuclear plant that works almost 23 or 24 hours in a day. See, in this field, I believe there are still so many things that we have not tapped into. And when we start tapping into them, we'll find that there's free energy everywhere. There's free energy everywhere. And I'm not downplaying solar energy at all. I'm not downplaying it. In fact, my mind, the way my mind is in fact, so many things on my mind. I have seen so many research, and my head is just like exploding. Like, why should we be suffering because of electricity?